Your Excellency, you are Moscow City Advisor. What's the significance of the Moscow Urban Forum 2015? What would you tell us about the participants and what are you hoping to achieve?
C'est la quatrième fois que je viens au Forum urbain de Moscou.
This is the fourth time that I have come to the Moscow Urban Forum, and I can therefore speak about the changes in this forum. It is a forum that has become much more professionalized. It has opened itself to international expertise. We have participants from Milan in Italy, from Barcelona in Spain. The moderator came from London in Great Britain. I could cite other countries, obviously. The uniqueness of the forum is that Moscow is opening itself to the world, and like all metropolises, is changing. Whether one is in Cairo, London, Moscow, Algiers, or elsewhere, all cities are experiencing great growth. So the metropolises need to organize themselves and share with each other issues concerning their own development, and the Moscow Forum contributes to this.
How would you compare the Greater Paris project with the new Moscow project?
Les comparaisons sont très difficiles à faire parce que, évidemment, c'est pas les mêmes.
Comparisons are not easy to make, obviously, because it's not the same people, the same history. There are problems that are similar in all capital cities, in Asia, in the Orient, problems of transportation, of housing and jobs that are not in the same places. In the past, urban planners set up areas where people lived and other areas where they worked. At the same time, zoning created the same problems that we see today. That is true in all metropolitan areas. It is very difficult then to compare one project to another, but what is useful is to discuss and exchange experiences just as we do in the Moscow Urban Forum.
Talking about the Greater Paris and the new Moscow projects, what are some of the sustainable technologies and best practices in design, ecology and culture that can inspire a country like Egypt while planning to establish its new capital city of Cairo?
D'abord, ce qui me frappe, c'est que qu'on soit à Moscou, à Paris ou à Londres,
first, what strikes me, whether the one is in Moscow, Paris or in London, it is necessary to involve people, to get them to participate in the projects. And thanks to smartphones and the latest communication technology, it is now possible. It was not possible in the past. The city of Moscow, for example, developed an application for iPhones, for smartphones, to ask the Moscovites, there were 2 million who downloaded the app and answered the questions, which is quite a feat, their opinions on pedestrian streets, designs, etc. And this serves as a good example for Cairo and other metropolitan areas. The latest technologies allow us to do this. I find it good and positive that here in Moscow, they are committed to asking people their opinion.
As Moscow City Advisor, to what extent have the US and EU-led sanctions against Russia that hit Russia's oligarchs affect the city of Moscow and the new Moscow project?
C'est une très bonne question. Very good question.
I think that actually, I believe very much in decentralized cooperation. I believe very much in sharing of goals, in exchanges between cities. It is good that the mayor of Cairo comes to Moscow. It is good that the mayor of Moscow goes to Cairo. I believe very much in exchanges. I know that Michael Bloomberg, former mayor of New York, was supposed to have come to the Moscow Urban Forum, but he couldn't. But he is going to come here soon. There are the US sanctions, and this is real life. Of course, that penalizes Moscow, obviously, but that plays out on the political stage and not necessarily on the realization of the project. In spite of the sanctions, the million square meters continue to be built. The new Moscow project is not altered by the sanctions. It has its own specificities, and it continues to go forward, and that is a good thing.
The objective of sustainable urbanization and creating better cities is to ensure a better quality of life for residents. Can this really happen while curtailing freedom of expression and blocking internet access to silence the opposition?
Chaque pays a ses structures propres. Chaque pays a ses règles.
Each country has its own structure. Each country has its rules. It is not my place to insert myself into the life of the Russian Federation any more than it is to insert myself into the London system or the French system or any place else. What I mean is, I will state one thing. Here in the Moscow Urban Forum, the Russian regime is what it is. Nothing is new under the sun. The only question that is important is this: do Muscovites see their city changing? Are their living conditions getting better? Is Moscow being developed into a livable city in a sustainable way? They are clearly answering yes, favorably. And you know, with the internet, everyone in Moscow walks around with a cell phone, a smartphone. There is nothing different here. I was in Paris at the airport yesterday and at the airport in Moscow today. I see everyone with internet access. With the internet, there are no more frontiers. China is trying to strictly control the internet, but not here. The Berlin Wall fell thanks to the internet. There are no frontiers with the internet, and I don't think these are the feelings of the mayor of Moscow or of the municipal government.
À contrôler fermement Internet, même pas ici. On a vu d'ailleurs que le mur de Berlin était tombé grâce à Internet. Donc voilà, on ne peut pas mettre de frontières et de barrières. Et je n'ai pas l'impression que ce soit le sentiment du maire de Moscou ou de sa municipalité.